boys and girls, so today we're going to be comparing numbers. Now there are several different ways that you can do this. One of the ways that if we were actually in class right now, I would have you be doing, I would be having you draw place value model drawings. So I would actually have you do, if it was this problem right here, 3 quick tens and then 4 ones. And over here 8 quick tens and then 6 ones. So I would have you do the model drawings. And when we do that, what I'd have you looking at is the greatest place value position first. So in problem 1 here, you can tell that the tens place is the greatest place value position. So I'm not going to make you draw the models for each of these. But what I do want you to do is I want you to underline the greatest place value position in each of the numbers, okay? So this is tens, and this is tens. So you have to think to yourself when you're comparing, is 3 greater than 8? Is it less than 8? Or is it equal to 8? And of course, this isn't really 3, right? It's 3 tens, so that's 30. This isn't really 8, it's 8 tens, so that's 80. But you don't need to worry about that part of it, with the exception of, I want to make sure you're understanding it's not just 3. It's actually 30 because it's in the tens place. And same over here. Not just 8, but it's 80 because that's in the tens place. But for comparing, you're going to look to see, is 3 greater than, less than, or equal to 8? And it is less. So we're done with that problem. Now I'm going to do odds with you. I'll let you do evens independently. But if we're looking at 3, we're going to underline the hundreds place. And guess what? They both have 6 hundreds. So now what you need to do is go to the tens place. So since they both have 6 in the hundreds, we'll go to the tens. Here we have 5 tens, which is 50. Here you have 6 tens, which is 60. So you have to think to yourself, 650, 660. Which is the bigger number? So you have to look here. Is this 50 right here, 650? Is that less than 660? Is it greater or is it equal? 650, 660. 5 is less than 6. So that'll be less again. Okay? All right, number 5, looking at the greatest place value position. Here we have 700s. Here we have 500s. I know for a fact 700s is greater than 500s. Okay, once again, looking at the greatest place value position first. So I have 1,000 here and 2,000 here. 1,000 is most certainly less than 2,000. All right, looking at the greatest place value position, that would be the thousands place. They both are the same. So go to the next greatest place value position. That's the hundreds, and they are the same. And you can quickly see we have 78 and 78. These are exactly the same. Those are equal to each other. Okay, you do need to be careful sometimes, and I'm looking over here, I see a 4, 6, 7, 8, I see a 4, 6, 7, 8. They will give you the same digits to try to trick you. You really have to look at each individual place value position, boys and girls, okay? Now here, you're ordering from greatest to least, the biggest number first. So out of these, which number is greatest? 81. I would cross that out when I'm done. What is the next greatest number? 69. I'm going to put a semicolon because remember when we just put commas, it can kind of look like you're trying to signify thousands or millions or whatever like that. So we'll use semicolons. So if I've written 69, 20 would be my final number. Okay. All right, so that's what you're going to do here too. Greatest to least. Look at your greatest place value position first, boys and girls. So this is going to be your first number that you're writing. Okay, then you'll have to compare these two. All right, the next one says least to greatest for the directions. Ordering the numbers from least to greatest. The smallest number first. And this is jumping out at me. 787. I'm going to separate my numbers with semicolons. So looking at the greatest place value position first, I have 1,000 or 2,000. So 1,000 is definitely going to be smaller. And then my final number will be 2,245. All right. So that's how you're going to compare those. Let's look at the back here and see what they want you to do. They want you to use comparison bars. Okay, this is going to be fun, guys. You guys are going to be really good at this. Okay, solve each problem and label your answer. Okay, David has 5 marbles. Anna has 8 marbles. How many more marbles does Anna have than David? Boys and girls, I know you know how to do 8 take away 5. That's not the point of this lesson. The point of this lesson is for you to use the comparison bar, okay? So if this is Anna and she has 8, right? There are 8. And David only has 5. What is the difference between here and here? That's what they're wanting to know. How many more marbles does Anna have than, oops, I forgot to label this, with David? So if you're thinking about your Math Mountain, boys and girls, what do you need to add to 5 to get to 8? 8 take away 5 is this add-end right here. Okay. 3, right? Okay. How many fewer marbles does David have than Anna? How many fewer marbles? Again, if he has 5 and she has 8, so she has 8 and he has 5, he has 3 fewer. 3 fewer than she does. Okay, here are 2 ways to represent the comparison situation. I really like this one. And you guys probably, when you saw this, I bet you anything, you probably were like, oh, Mrs. Bartell would make us do this. Because yes, this is a lot easier to visually see than this. Although this makes a lot of sense. And I represented it a little bit different up here. What did I do? I put the 8 on top and the 5 here, and then our question mark here. But it is a lot easier to see, and I actually would have done this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually would have done my comparison bar more like this. And then that's Anna, of course, right, with 8. And then I would have done David's down here, and he had 5. And I think by doing it like this, you can clearly see, right, that this would be the missing amount, right? He has 3 fewer than she does, okay? This is probably more of the drawing I would have done versus this one. But I love how these, when they draw the ones like that, although I taught you to draw them like this without the actual circle. Okay, next problem. Claire has 8 marbles. Sasha has 15. So I'm getting a visual of 8, and I'm getting a visual of 15. So I'm going to actually draw the 8, and I'm actually going to do it like this, boys and girls, like I did right here versus up there, because I think it's really clear if you see the actual units like that. And then it said Sasha has 15. So 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, I might run out of room. Ooh. Okay. How many more marbles does Sasha have than Claire? So remember, Sasha has 15. Claire has 8. So if I want to figure out how many more, I'm going to actually do it like this, guys, and I'm going to put little X's. So I'm counting 7 X's here. So 8 plus, that is 7. Okay, so she has 7 more. How many fewer marbles does Claire have than Sasha? How many fewer does she have? Same answer, guys, 7. She has 7 less, okay? 7 fewer, okay, than Sasha does. All right, that's what this next problem is asking you to do. It's going to be asking you to do comparison bars and then figure out the answer to a question. And I think you can do that one independently. It's going to be very similar to like what we did up here. All right. And I'm not sure if the lesson actually ends today, guys. How sad is that? Or if this is 2 days. But I'm going to actually keep going. So this video may be for 2 days, and you may have to watch it twice, but fast forward through it. I'll go ahead and note the time, though, if it ends up being a 2-day lesson. But if I remember correctly, I think it was just 1 day. So I'm going to keep going. All right. So comparison problems with an unknown larger or unknown smaller amount. Okay. This says it's an unknown larger amount. Maribel has 18 stickers. Okay, so Maribel, and I'm not going to draw the little dashes, okay? I'm just going to put an M for Maribel, and I'm going to say that this whole amount here is 18. Now, Aaron has 13 more than Maribel. I'm going to make my 18 smaller. I'm going to make that 18. Aaron has 13 more than that. So in other words, he already has those 18, right? He has this, plus he has 13 more. So this is all of Aaron's right here, because it's 13 more than this. So I think this is going to be like our little comparison bar area or question mark. and it says, how many stickers does Aaron have? Oh, so this one is wanting you to do some addition. So it's taking this right here, the 18 and the 13, and you're going to combine those to find out how much Aaron has. Is it Aaron? Yes. So 18, which is Maribel, remember, he has 13 more than that. So he has to have that amount plus an additional 13. And that will give you his number. That's the variable. So what I would do to add those up, I would actually, of course, there's different ways you can do it, but I'm basing this on what I know from you. I would stack my numbers to add. And 8 and 3 make a tree, so that's 11. So I'm going to do my 1 here, and I'm going to carry my 1 above, my new total above, 1, 2, 3. So Aaron has 31 stickers, and I'm just going to say S for stickers, okay? Looking down below, Aaron has 31 stickers, okay? So I'm going to make an A for Aaron. And this number is 31. Maribel has 13 fewer stickers than Aaron. So she has 13 less. Fewer. Okay? So I think they want to know, how many does she have? Okay, so look at these numbers up here, guys. The 18, the 13, the 31. Look at what we have here, the 31 and the 13. Okay, I'm thinking of the Math Mountain situation, right? We have the 13. This would have to be what? What number would that have to be? 18. We can actually solve that without having to do any kind of calculation, just from looking at these 3 numbers and knowing they're a family, like these 3 numbers up here. Okay? So if I'm going to write my equation that they want me to write, 31 is Aaron's, minus 13 less for Maribel. How many stickers does Maribel have? 18 stickers. I think I'll just put S for stickers. There we go. All right. Ivan has 19 goldfish. Milo has 15 more than Ivan. So Ivan has 19. Here's 19 for Ivan. And Milo has 15 more than this. So he has to have the 19, but he also has 15 more than that. Okay? How many goldfish does Milo have? What do you think you need to do here? Add these 2 numbers, correct? Add those 2 up. So 19 plus the 15. And I know that if I break this apart into a 1 and a 14, I can make 20 out of this. So that's really like 20 plus 14. And that's a lot easier to add up. That's 34. And I'm going to just say GF, goldfish. Okay, there's our answer. Next problem. Milo has 34 goldfish. That sounds like a total. Ivan has 15 less than that. So here's Milo. Milo has 34. Ivan has 15 less than this. So he has the same amount, 34, but minus 15. right? So if I added this part together, it would be 34, okay? But he has 15 fewer. So I need to subtract out this number right here. I need to get rid of it to figure out the amount he has. Okay, so 34 minus 15. Okay. And you should be able to solve for that. I'm going to use a variable here. I'm not going to give you the answer. I want you to do that on your own. I want you to solve for that one independently. Okay? All right, last page of this activity. TJ has 18 fewer miniature cars than Corey. So 18 less. That sounds like we're going to subtract 18 from something. Corey has 32 miniature cars. How many cars does TJ have? So 32 minus the 18. So here is Corey's. Corey's is the 32. TJ, he won't have the same amount. Well, he will have this amount, but then we're going to subtract this amount because he has this many less, 18 fewer than 32. So here is the amount of cars that he has right there. So 32 subtracting out 18 gives you the amount of cars. I'm going to leave it as a variable and you're going to solve it. Okay? All right, next one. Corey has 18 more miniature cars than TJ. TJ has 14. So TJ says right here, I'm gonna make this a smaller bar here. He has 14, okay? Corey has 18 more than the 14. So Corey has to have the 14. He has to have that many, but he also has 18 more in addition to this. So how many does he have? Think about your mathematical equation. Right? Right there. You're going to figure that out. You're going to calculate that. All right. Grace has 19 fewer stuffed animals than Sophia. Boy, Sophia has a lot. She has 31. That's a lot. So 31 minus the 19. 19 fewer means you're going to do subtraction. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to use two variables there, stuffed animals. Okay? I'm not going to do the work for you. I want you to solve it. I want you to draw your model, how you would show your work. Okay? Sophia has 19 more stuffed animals than Grace. Grace has 12 of them. So if Grace has 12, and this says Sophia has 19 more than Grace, so Sophia has to have the 12 to begin with, but she has 19 more. So here's Sophia's. So what do you think your equation needs to look like? Think about that. You're going to take this number and you're going to combine it with how many more she has. Okay? And that will be her number of stuffed animals. Okay? All right, boys and girls, pretty sure that's it for this lesson. Good job.